Live streaming is on.
Seems pretty clear.
I think so, yes. %85%? Yeah, it's gonna be just on time. Actually, maybe I should add you as. Do you want to do this beer with coffee as well with your pie? Or no?
No, no, because I don't have actually. So I'm moving to a new apartment. I have few pies with me. Actually, the only available on my table, actually, it's a Pi 3. I'm not sure if I should do it. Actually, I have the one for the birds here, so I can help you with that if you want. So you can do the coffee and beer.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like I'm at 97%, so it's gonna be like release once. Yeah.
Should be okay.
It. Yeah, it's just I haven't tried it, but
that's live demos, right?
Yeah.
No,
but I tried it with my phone to recognize the coffee mug and all.
Okay,
and it was working. Yeah.
Now it should work the IoT part, right?
Yeah.
So we will wait a couple of more minutes if more people join. And we will start.
Okay, service variable. Why do I don't have any variable here? Oh, I need to add them by hand? I forgot.
But that worked, no? Well,
if I don't put any? Yeah, it should, right?
I don't know. Well, we had that struggle this morning, right?
Oh yeah, it's still building. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like the new thing, I added in the repo, which is it's like I haven't built the package for like a while, I guess. So it's building it. It takes probably 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay.
And
that should
you need to finish building before it can start streaming. So yeah, that's fine, I think.
If not, we will need to explain what's going on there.
Yeah, you will cut this part in our video.
Well, it's okay to so that people realize that IoT is about struggling and challenges and yeah.
Well, we both make it easy with Balena and Edge Impulse, I think.
No, absolutely, but IoT is hard, right?
Yeah.
You suffer it several times in the past and now probably.
Yeah, a little.
So maybe we have 10 people. So maybe it's time to start, if that's okay for you, Aurèlien.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I just want to add this variable so it's ready.
Sure.
Like it's deploying my app at least. While I'm talking about Edge Impulse inference, API key. It's here. And I need my project ID, right? EI project ID. Actually, it's something I should put in the balena YML, right? At least to put random variables.
Or from your open.
Yeah.
If you have an open repository, I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Make it public.
Now that I made it public, that's. Yeah, I have to check actually if when it's public, if I can deploy. Maybe not. Maybe I need to do a clone, but. Okay, this is done. It's restarting.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
Doing good. Nice to meet you guys.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
It's good that you're relaxed today and not speaking.
Yeah, I spend all the day speaking about IoT and internal training. So happy to that.
All the pressure to Aurèlien.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of calls today as well so it's good to finish with the IoT meetup with you.
And the good part is that you managed to finish with beer, so that's really cool.
Or coffee.
Or coffee. I don't know if it's time for coffee.
I think it's all good on my side.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start. We are 14 people, so should be okay. Let's see if more people get inside. All right, so welcome to the new IoT Barcelona meetup. Well, actually not. I don't know if anyone is from Barcelona here, or if anyone is repeating to the meetup. Feel free to use the chat, maybe, to start. And then the questions, maybe we can do the microphone. But yeah, everyone that starts, it's muted automatically on Jitsi. So today we have Aurèlien from Edge Impulse. Actually, Aurèlien, you already spoke on the IoT Barcelona meetup like several times, like a couple or 3 times maybe before. So first virtual, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I came a couple of times to Barcelona where I was working at Sigfox. So yeah, this is not the first time. It's the first time virtually, for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah. And yeah, so actually, Aurèlien is now, he used to work at Sigfox. Now he's working at Edge Impulse, helping companies to make machine learning happening in a really easy way on IoT. And I'm really amazed by Edge Impulse. So I thought that it could be really cool to explain how Edge Impulse works, so anyone from the community could make it work on their side. So I don't know, I give you the word so you can start. And the fun part is I think we prepare a very hands-on demo. So everyone, actually, if you have a Pi at home, you will be able to replicate it almost live. But I think, we prepare some really cool demos for the community. So all yours, Aurèlien.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Mark. Let me figure out how to share my screen first. Partager, that sounds good. And let me know once you see my screen.
Yeah, we see your screen.
Yeah?
We see your
all
slides,
good.
yeah.
Great, yeah. So yeah, I just have a couple of slides to basically present what we do at Edge Impulse. So as Mark said, I used to work at Sigfox where I was managing developer relations for a couple of years. And while I was working at Sigfox, I was actually already very interested in machine learning and how we could combine IoT and machine learning and do basically like embedded AI directly on targets. And so I joined Edge Impulse. It's been 8 months. Yeah, I joined actually last July. It feels like a long time, but actually, yeah, it's just 8 months where I basically lead a team of user success engineers. And so we have a team which is spread out between Europe and the United States. And so, yeah, let me just dive into the slides quickly, and then we will show you a quick demo of how we can do machine learning on device and also using the balena solution. But before going into that, so when we think about machine learning, and that's what people think in general, is like tons of GPUs running in data centers to create very complex machine learning models for image recognition or sound recognition. So that's basically like the classic machine learning that we've known for many years. What we do at Edge Impulse is we actually do machine learning directly on target. So you can train your model like you do usually. Using our platform, you can acquire some data, create your data set, train your model. And once you've trained your model, you can deploy it directly on your device. So we can generate open source C++ library. We can also generate directly like binary firmwares for the target that we officially support. And then you are good to go to run your embedded machine learning on your device. And so you can do different type of applications, but in general, it involves some sensors like a microphone if you want to do some speech recognition, a camera if you want to do image classification, or more generally, any time series sensor. So like accelerometers, for instance, is something widely used to do embedded machine learning, like if you want to detect some complex movements, or if you want to do some vibration detection for anomaly detection. So we have a solution. So you will see we have like a great web interface where you can do all of this data acquisition, training your machine learning model, and then deploying your library, your C++ library. And this library can run on very small microcontrollers. So if you have like a Cortex M0 Plus, Cortex M0 Plus or more than that, you can start running embedded machine learning for your project. And yeah, just a word about Edge Impulse. So the platform got live like a bit more than a year ago, back in January 2020. And since that, we've got really great growth with more than 8,000 developers, 12,000 projects, and more data samples being added to the platform. And I was just mentioning before, what we aim to do at Edge Impulse is basically to help any embedded developer to run machine learning model very quickly. So we've got like an ML ops platform for embedded AI. As I was saying already before, what you can do with the platform is first create your data set. So when you do machine learning, creating the data set is like the first important step. So you create your data set, acquiring data from devices. You can also import an existing data set if you have one. Then you create your machine learning model. So that's what we call impulse. And basically this impulse, it's usually a mix of signal processing blocks and neural networks. We have different signal processing blocks in the platform because you, in most of use cases, you will extract more meaningful features using DSP block than just feeding raw data into your neural network. So you train your model, you test it, and once you are satisfied with the performances, you can generate a C++ library or binary to run directly the model on your target. And as of today, we already support like a bunch of silicon partners. So as you can see here on this list, we support boards from STMicro, Nordic, Silicon Labs, Microchip, Arduino, HiMax, and so on. We've got also Raspberry coming soon. And as I was mentioning, if you look on the right side of my slide, we can generate this C++ library. We can generate an Arduino. If you use an STMicro board, we can also generate a CubeAI library for your project. And the WebAssembly, which is the last option here, and it's actually what we will show you today with the Raspberry and Balena. It's basically embedding your whole machine learning model inside a WebAssembly that you can call with JavaScript. So as I guess most of you are familiar with IoT, when we think about the different use cases where you can use embedded machine learning, they are very close to the IoT space. So here, I guess you are familiar with the different industries that we are mentioning, such as like predictive maintenance. So I was saying before, like if you want to, for instance, measure the vibration of an engine, it can be something very meaningful if you want to do anomaly detection. You can also use it for asset tracking and monitoring, typically for logistics and infrastructure industries. And the last one is about human and animal sensing. So to do like smart interfaces or wearable, it's something that can benefit a lot from embedded machine learning. And so just to finish up on a couple of use cases, we've got one major customer of Edge Impulse is developing like a smart wristband for consumers that is monitoring like different signals from your body, such as the temperature, your breathing rate, your heart rate as well, to evaluate your sleep, and also to detect potential disease such as the flu. And I'm going to finish on two other use cases. So Isoelectro, so it's one of our partner, IRNAS, who did this basically like power line fault detector that you put on electric lines to detect if you have any surges, which is can be very useful to monitor if you have any like wildfire, for instance, in your electric grid system. So this particular project would use current and an accelerometer to train a machine learning model. And here, is a cool last project we've been working on with Smart Parks and other partner, which is to reduce the risk of poaching, where our partner is developing a solution using accelerometer, microphone, and image to basically understand the behavior of elephants and tracking their activities and avoiding the risk of them being killed by poachers. So just to finish on slides, if you want to know more about Edge Impulse, so of course we've got lots of great documentation. If you go online on edgeimpulse.com, you can sign up for a free account. We've got good documentation, and we also launched more recently a Coursera course, so you can go on the Coursera, get the intro to embedded machine learning for free, and also get a certificate if you're interested in. And that's all for my slides.
Wow, that's cool, this Coursera. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's really new. We just released 2-3 weeks ago, I think.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, so let's do something. Let's show us what's the real.
Yeah, definitely. So I've created here like a project, which is it's actually a project we did a couple of months ago with Mark and Balena, which is we did an image recognition to recognize between coffee cup and beer bottle, and it was nice project because for this online chat that we had people in different time zones. So some people having coffee, some other people having beers. So we actually collected some data. So as you can see here, I can show you data we've collected in the past. So as you can see here, we've collected like 250 images for this particular project with 3 different labels. So we've got coffee cup, we've got beer bottle, and we've got also some other category, which is like empty, or like basically there is no coffee cup or beer bottle in my image. And so then I can select here the different images. So here, I guess, was the beer from Mark at that time. Other one here at my place. This one is just empty. And here we've got some coffee cup. So we've collected a couple of images. And so we've got, as I was saying, we've got different ways to collect images. If you have a dev board, which is officially supported by Edge Impulse, you can go here into devices, connect your device directly to your project by loading the Edge Impulse firmware on your device. And then you will be able to acquire data from the different sensors of your board. But a cool way we have to basically collect sensors is using your mobile phone. So like if I scan this QR code, and actually if you scan it, you can also add your own images. It's opening a web page on my iPhone. You can see that my phone is connected now. And I can now start collecting images. So you will see here, I've got my last sample was from November 18th. And so I'm going to collect a new coffee cup samples. So I just type coffee cup on my phone, and then I capture, and you see I've got a new sample who just appear here from today with my coffee cup. So it's like super easy way to collect data and add data to your project just using your mobile phone. So you can access the microphone, the camera, and also the accelerometer from your smartphone.
Yeah, that's super simple.
Yeah, and so once you've collected your data, so here we've created our machine learning model, which is, you will see, like, it's very simple to configure. So as I was mentioning, in general, in your impulse, you've got first a processing block to do some DSP treatment. And then you've got your neural network model. So here we've got an image processing block. But as you can see, we've got a bunch of different processing blocks. Like if you want to do audio, especially like speech recognition, you may want to use this MFCC block, which is very great at extracting features from human speech. We've got also spectrogram, spectral analysis, which is great for when you are dealing with accelerometer and you want to apply some low-pass filter or high-pass filter. And then we've got our neural network block. So if I go step by step, I go to the image, you will see here I don't have much thing to configure. For my image model, I just need to select if I want to use grayscale image or RGB. Here I can visualize the different samples I have collected. So I can select this one. You can see a different image. So you save your parameter, and then you generate features, which is basically just either keeping RGB pixels or converting to grayscale. And you can have this great 3D view to check if your different samples are easily clustered or not. So you can see here in blue, I've got beer bottles, and you can see we've got probably like 2 different clusters of my beer bottle samples. And it's probably because myself and Mark, we've collected samples, but it was in a different environment. So it appears in different, as different clusters here in my feature explorer. And so you can select them one by one. Like if I select this coffee cup, for instance, you can see down here, you can visualize which sample it corresponds to. And so once you've done that, you go to the neural network configuration. So for images, we use a technique called transfer learning. So we load like pre-configured neural network from a mobile net model. So it's a widely used image model to do machine learning. And then we just basically apply a couple of training cycles on this model using the image that we have acquired. And then the neural network that will be trained will be really good at classifying between my beer bottles or my coffee cups. And so you just select this mobile net by default, and then you start training. And so the training is done in our infrastructure. It takes, it's going to take maybe 2 to 3 minutes to finish the training. And once you finish the training, you will be able to see the training performances here. So you can see that we had an 98% accuracy on this particular model. And you can also look at the confusion matrix to see like if the predictions are accurate or not. So you can see like for the beer bottle, it's always predicted accurately. And here for the coffee cup, we've got a couple of samples that are incorrectly predicted by the model. So like it's very easy like to create your own model. And so even if you don't have any machine learning experience, like if you have a bit of, I would say, engineering experience in programming, you can so train your model and then deploy it back to your device. So here it's just finishing to save the model. And basically, once it will be finished, I will be able to test it and then deploy it. And also, like if you are interested to reproduce this project yourself, I've actually made this project public. And so I'm just going to copy it in the chat. Yes, there is a chat here. And so you can access to the link, have a look at the whole project, even if you haven't created an account yet. And then you can actually decide to clone the project and deploy it on your devices yourself afterwards. So here we've got like it's just finishing to basically calculating performances metrics. So it's interesting because it gives you like some information about RAM usage and flash usage on your device, and also inferencing time for your model. Oh, and so now I finished training, so you can see my accuracy actually decreased. I've collected a bit more data, so that's maybe why it's been affected by that, but it's still pretty good. So I can then go to the next step, which is either doing model testing. And basically, when I go to model testing, I can select my whole test data set and check if it's being classified correctly. And a nice way as well to test your model is I can also use my mobile phone to do it. So actually, I don't know if I can. Mark, do you see? Is my webcam on actually when I share my screen?
No, we only see your screen. We don't see your webcam.
Is it normal?
You can, if you reactivate your camera, yeah, you got that.
Yeah, okay. So once I started sharing, I guess I lost my camera.
Yeah, that's better, yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I just wanted to be sure you can see, because so I've got my phone and I've got this, basically this web app where I can do the classification. And so like I'm gonna take a picture here of my coffee cup, which is next to me, and I don't know how easy it is to read, but it says
100%, yeah. One.
Yeah, so it classified correctly here my coffee cup, which is great. So yeah, so basically very easy to do your model. Once you finish testing, you can go to the deployment. So as I said, you can create like C++ library, an Arduino, and the WebAssembly, which is the one we used for the Balena project. You can select some optimizations, and then you just click on build, and you will be able to access your library. And yeah, one thing I wanted to add as well is like everything that I'm doing here on the web interface, you can also do it using our API. So if you want to do some automation, it's a great way to do it. And so now I've got my WebAssembly library, which has been generated. So that's just a quick overview of the platform. Mark, do you want to dive into the Balena project? I can show it on my screen as well.
Yeah, you can show it. Actually, yeah, with Aurèlien, we talk a long time ago when we prepare some projects, and as I work at Balena, so we prepare some demos on Balena. And actually, if you go to Balena Hub, if you want to run this device, this project, and you go to Balena Hub, there is a project, an application called image classification, I guess.
Yeah.
Image classification. So if you click deploy with Balena, it automatically, well, you will need a Raspberry Pi 3 or 4, I guess, and it will deploy automatically the project into your Balena Cloud account, which is free up to 10 devices. So you actually can have this project. Well, actually, it's a similar one. It's classifying shoes. Actually, this is another project that you build.
Yeah, so that's basically when you select this application in Balena Hub. The code for this particular project is.
So if you click read more, you can get into the GitHub repo.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's the GitHub repo, and you've got also the tutorial about this repo where we did shoes classification. So by default, that's what the project will do. But it's super easy to just reuse the same application and do your own image classification model. So the way we do it is we use the Edge Impulse API, and you basically just need to enter your API key and your Edge Impulse project ID into your Balena application to say that you want to use a different image recognition model.
Maybe to give a quick introduction, if anyone doesn't know Balena, it's basically a platform to manage the software that it's running on connected devices. So in this case, the only thing that Balena does, it's, well, you need the Balena OS, the operating system, running on a device. It's a Linux. It needs at least half gig of RAM, of disk. And the thing is, yeah, what we do is we manage the software that it's running on the top of the operating system, and we run this software on containers, on Docker containers. So actually, what the application that Aurèlien was showing before, actually, it's a couple of containers or 3 containers where the application basically runs the camera and sends the stream of the camera to the other container that it's running Edge Impulse model and telling to the web interface what it's happening on the camera. So maybe, yeah, it's better if we show how does it work.
Yeah. So that's basically like the application. I actually created it. I finished creating it at 7 p.m. So it was pretty good timing.
Yeah,
actually, 6:45. And so I've got my Raspberry Pi next to me, which is connected. And as you can see, like if I select my Raspberry Pi, I've got information about my local IP, and you can see here the 2 services, the 2 containers that are running on my Raspberry. So we've got the balenaCam, which is actually based on a Balena open source project to stream the video feed from your camera to a web page. And here the Edge Impulse inference, which is basically packaging the WebAssembly into a container to do the classification. And what we have done into the application is we've got a WebSocket between the balenaCam Python server and the Edge Impulse Node.js application, which is in charge of doing image classification. And yeah, as I was mentioning just before, we've got actually here in service variable, we've got API key of the project plus the project ID. So if, as I was saying, like if, for instance, I've got another project, another Edge Impulse project to do a different type of image classification, I can just change here my API key and the project ID of my project, and the container on my Raspberry will automatically restart and will load the different image classification model. So it's super easy for you to just start playing with image classification using Balena and Edge Impulse.
Yeah, and it's really cool that if you retrain the model, the device will download the latest model. So that's probably that happened. I mean, while you were speaking, right?
Yeah. So like for instance here, imagine like if I would. So it's actually what I've done here. I've added some images, but if I decide to add some images, I retrain my model. Once I have retrained my model, I can go to my Balena application and just, now it's here, basically just restart the Edge Impulse inference service. And when it will restart, it will grab the new machine learning model from my project.
So maybe it's time to show the camera stream from your Pi.
Yeah. So let's connect. Oh, actually, it was connected here. So it's connecting. Camera takes a couple of seconds to appear, but you can actually already see the label here because the camera is in front of my coffee cup. If I remove it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to rotate.
Let's do some rotation. Yes.
That's fine, right? We can. Yeah, maybe I should put it in a different way.
No, come on, change the rotation variable. No, it's rotation equal 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think like when we tried earlier today.
Exactly.
I did it on the wrong service.
So if you go here, add variable balenaFin rotation
here, right?
1. Yeah, rotation 1. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think that's the one, yeah.
Then the device is restarted. Yes.
You can see in the logs it's restarting, and I think it's done.
Yeah. Let's get fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think it's rotation 1. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
cool.
Good. So maybe I should remove the beer. But anyway, you can see here, like, you've got like the live classification, coffee cup, 99% basically.
Cool.
No beer bottle, not empty. If I remove, so basically here you've got something which is empty. And if I put my Basque Country beer, it recognizes it as a beer. I think it's Spanish, actually, Mark.
It's balena?
It's balea. Oh, yeah, actually, I didn't pay attention.
Super cool. You should send me some.
Yeah, I will. So like basically here, it's recognizing the bottle, like really great and all. And what is interesting is that I actually haven't retrained my model. Like it's like most of my data set, except like the one image I did today of this new coffee cup. The rest of the data set is coming from the data set we've created months ago with Mark, and it's fairly different images of like coffee cup, for instance. But the model is still able to learn what is coffee cup and beer bottle.
Yeah, imagine how simple it is. So Aurèlien, just 15 minutes before the meetup, just deploy into a Raspberry Pi the project that we show on Balena Hub, clicking deploy with Balena, and using model, it automatically works. So if you have to introduce like a image classification project with your mobile phone, you can start taking pictures, create the model, deploy it, or build it with Edge Impulse. Just click on Balena, deploy with Balena the project, change the API keys, right, on Balena as a device variable.
Yeah, they have to be created actually, but it's written inside the GitHub.
Okay.
Like I should copy that as well in the chat. This one, and but you can also find it in the Balena Hub too.
And you have more advanced projects that you can show now that I see the Balena Hub.
Yeah, we've got someone from our developers community. I mean, from Edge Impulse and Balena community who did a great project to do like a smart bird feeder.
Wow,
Which
no
is
way.
actually
I
super
love
cool.
spying birds.
Yeah. So I can show that. I just need to. I've got only one Pi camera here.
First world problem. I only have one Pi camera.
Yeah, I moved to the Basque Country for like a month, and yeah, I didn't bring all the hardware I had, I guess. So I'm just going to disconnect this one. So you will see I will lose a connection in a sec.
So actually, one developer from the community, from Edge Impulse and Balena, built a project inspired on a Kickstarter project that it was a bird feeder, well, a smart bird feeder with a camera and a microphone. And this guy just made it open source. So actually, as we showed you before on Balena Hub, you go there, search for a bird watcher project on Edge Impulse, and in just one click, in 10 minutes, you can have on your Pi a project that it's actually classifying birds by image or by sound, actually. So he trained the Edge Impulse model with some YouTube videos. So actually, there are YouTube videos of several hours of birds chirping or tweeting, and yeah. So it's super amazing. So
yeah, it's actually here.
Created for my house.
So yeah, you have it here as well in the Balena Hub. I don't know. I was out for a sec, but maybe
no problem. Yeah, I was giving context that
okay.
This developer was inspired by a Kickstarter project, and you have all the instructions here actually, how to make it work. And actually, this developer made an enclosure with his 3D printer, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it did actually.
So yeah, look what he did. Yeah. So actually, this is not using a Raspberry Pi 3. Well, a Raspberry Pi, technically speaking, it's using something that we call a balenaFin. A balenaFin is a product done by Balena that it's actually a Raspberry Pi 3, technically speaking, because it uses a compute module of Raspberry Pi. So it's a Raspberry Pi 3, but for industrial customers. So it has a GPIO of Raspberry Pi, but it has other elements that make it more industrial, like for electricity. It doesn't use SD cards, it uses an eAMC memory. And finally, as well, it uses something really cool that I really like, that it's a coprocessor. It's Cortex M4, if I'm not wrong, with a specific GPIO. And the nice thing of this coprocessor is it can sleep the compute module. So it's a very low power device if the compute module is sleeping. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I actually just started using it today. Yeah, I don't have any problem. I mean, except for the power supply at first, because I didn't read the documentation properly. So yeah, it's so I think it's on, and so yeah, I get the so it's on Balena Hub as well, as Mark said, and you can also look at the project on GitHub. So it's based a lot on the application we've done between Edge Impulse and Balena, the one we were showing just before. But Mitun added more, even more features and other containers. So I don't know if you said, Mark, yeah, it can tweet, right? I mean, it can tweet as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we were testing this with the YouTube videos that he used for training, and it worked well. Actually, I forgot to mention another thing. So this guy, what he did is he created a Telegram bot. So every time that the device detects a bird, it sends to the Telegram bot the picture of the bird. So maybe we can show it live, because it's pretty amazing how easy it is to do this with with Edge Impulse and
So I think
I'm the Dimitri. You're the proud sound, actually.
That's yours, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Mine is still not on.
Right. Yeah, yours is online. Mine is not online.
Really?
Yeah, this is yours. We should change the name.
Proud sound. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I can change, yeah. Aurèlien Basque Country. Yeah, and actually it's running. I can see in the logs. So I can connect here.
Yeah,
so yeah, you can see, yeah.
The guy made another interface, which is pretty amazing. And I don't know if you can see my screen, but I created this bot on Telegram. So I got.
Do you want to share your screen?
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm just showing a Telegram bot with the pictures, but we will see it anyway here on the.
Oh, you can see me
on
here.
Your display, yeah.
So
because now it's tricky to get birds, we are gonna fake the the demo with some Google images from birds.
What was the bird yet again?
Actually, this guy is based in Connecticut, on the east coast of the United States, and for example, cardinal or blue jay or goldfinch are birds that are in that area. So he trained the model with those birds, actually using Google Images.
Yeah, I'm looking for cardinal bird images
Awesome.
on my phone.
So I would recommend I would suggest, Aurèlien, if you can have like half a screen with this bird feeder interface and the other with the Google with the Balena Cloud, so we can see the logs from the Balena Cloud. Because it's pretty interesting to see the logs, because even if it's not recognized, we will see. So just
should I
maximize? Try to maximize on the right. Yeah, here. Well, it's still too small. You can do the sidebar smaller on the bottom left, I guess. Let's see if this helps. Well, yeah, kind of. Huh?
Oh, I haven't stopped the tweet service because it's not going to work with mine, right?
Should be okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's showing in the logs. It's a bit. I can stop it, right?
Yes. So what we are doing, actually, Aurèlien doesn't have a microphone on his fin, and so we stop this container.
It's just to avoid having too many logs here. Okay.
Yeah, looks good, more or less. No, I think people can understand the JSON.
So, let me see if I put this cardinal. If I try to put it well.
So, Wi-Fi connect. I think you should restart because it didn't connect to your Wi-Fi. But it says bird found. And you can see on the interface, cardinal. Yeah. And I'm getting actually on Telegram.
So you can see, I mean, it's going fast here in the result, but what it did, it basically, he put like a threshold of 80%. So like if the image classification got higher threshold accuracy of 80%, it will save the image and send it to the Telegram bot. And so here it said, found cardinal bird. And it actually saved the image here. As you can see, the image of from my phone. It's super cool.
No, it's super amazing how easy. And then this user, what it's gonna do with the balenaFin, actually he's gonna introduce a peer sensor. So and introduce these into a real nest for birds. So when the peer sensor detects something, it will start taking pictures. So actually the peer sensor will wake up the compute module, so it's on low power. And then it will detect, it will start using the edge impulse, taking pictures at that moment when it wake up. So yeah, we can. I'm looking forward to see this smart bird feeder with low power.
Yeah.
And it's, let's see. What is it? Goldfinch?
I'm just having fun. Yeah, that's all.
Yes. No.
No, it's hard for me to to play with my phone like this. Is it a good one? Is it a goldfinch?
I don't know. I don't have any clue about what is a goldfinch.
I think it is one.
What does it say? Because I don't see the percentage. Try another one. Maybe this is not on the model.
Yeah.
I think he made a model with some like four or five birds. Actually, it's open, the model from this user.
Oh yeah, that's right. Chickadee bird.
So yeah, looking forward to read questions if you have questions on the chat, because you saw in a really simple way. This is a chickadee.
What does it say here?
It's
0.5.
33% chickadee, 40%.
Oh, there is like, what is Wi-Fi? I'm losing my Wi-Fi sometimes, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks like the Wi-Fi connect is not happy, but it's obviously it's online.
Yeah, I'm showing my screen. So
it's 90. Yeah, it detected something. No, it's 99% unknown. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So maybe that's not a good bird.
Yeah.
It's worked well with the cardinal anyway.
Yeah, with the blue jay. Try blue jay. Well, last last try.
Blue jay. Okay.
Well, I don't know if people has other ideas.
Yeah, but here. Oh yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it here in the label. Okay. Blue jay.
It's a good way to learn about birds.
Yeah, but even in French, I don't know the name actually.
Exactly, me neither.
Come on! Oh, bird found.
I got the message on Telegram. Yeah, but it says goldfinch. But yeah, well, I mean, maybe the model needs to be improved, but that's okay. So actually, I get a Telegram message saying the picture and the name of the bird, and the name of the tweet is of the chirp detection is that it records the 10 seconds of the chirp, and it sends it as well on Telegram as a sound, as a voice message.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super cool.
I mean, I think that's super simple. I mean, if anyone wants to get started on machine learning and IoT, this is no-brainer. I don't know what people think about that. Comments, questions, please.
I was sharing my screen, right?
Yes, you're sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, what do you think? Who has questions? Maybe my next question before people ask questions on the chat or by voice is how to retrain a model. So let's imagine this project with the birds. How would you recommend to the people to retrain the model of birds? Do you have like a strategy on Edge Impulse for that, for training?
Yeah, so there are two ways basically. One is so you just collect additional data, and then you go to your Edge Impulse project and you just start adding your new data samples. Or another way, like especially if you are using like a Raspberry Pi or any device that has an internet connection, is you can directly add new data samples from your device to your Edge Impulse project using our API. And so you can add new data samples, and then you could decide, for instance, every couple of days, you are going to retrain the model. And so you retrain it, and once it has been retrained, you can say to your devices to retrieve this new model dynamically.
That's really cool, actually. That's super cool. Questions?
Yeah, and I think it goes really well between Balena and Edge Impulse. It's like
exactly.
it's like showing the benefits of both solutions.
Yeah, because this works on Arduino, right, or on microcontrollers as well.
Yeah,
Never tried.
If you have Arduinos, like you need an Arduino with a Cortex, an ARM Cortex. But if you have an Arduino MKR something,
MKR, okay.
MKR or like the Nano BLE, for instance, it's going to work.
So the ones that support TinyML, right?
Yeah, that's so. We leverage a lot the ARM instructions. Like ARM, they've got like this CMSIS DSP and CMSIS NN instruction set to basically accelerate DSP and neural network processing on target. And that's why that's something that we support and that we optimize for. But then if you have like a Raspberry or something which is more powerful than a Cortex M0, you can use also Edge Impulse. So you can compile the library for basically any target. You can run it on your PC as well.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. So I have been reading about more projects of Edge Impulse. Like I was speaking a couple of weeks ago with Alex Davis from the Arribada Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
That he's detecting polar bears or the elephants. He took 30,000 pictures of elephants with Edge, and he put it on Edge Impulse.
Oh yeah.
So
I've been working with them. The past couple of weeks, I've got really great project that we are working on together.
Well, that's super nice. Questions? Can you explain the business model for Edge Impulse? Christoph asked.
Yeah, it's a good question. So as I was saying, like you can create a free account on Edge Impulse, and everything I was showing you today, you can do it with the free tier. And then we've got an enterprise account, which enterprise subscription, which will give you additional features such as team collaboration. You can also do some data pre-processing on your data set. And you can also connect your project to, for instance, an external bucket. So, for instance, if you have an Amazon S3 bucket with your data sets, you can connect it to your Edge Impulse project. You can also, so like when I was showing the boards that we support, going from Arduino, Nordic, and everything, like our enterprise customers, they can also add their custom firmware deployment option into their Edge Impulse project. So you can directly create a firmware within the platform for your specific device. So that would contain not only your machine learning model, but everything around that you may need for your device. So that's basically the difference between the free tier and the enterprise account. Also, the enterprise account, they've got less limitation regarding size of data sets and also compute time. So, like for now, we do not enforce compute time limits on the platform. So you can train models for like a couple of hours a month with no problem. But it's something that we could decide to limit for the free tier if we have users who are training for tens or hundreds of hours a month.
And how many devices can I connect for free on Edge Impulse? So it all depends on the time of computation.
Yeah, you can connect as many devices as you want. There is no limit, and also. Back to the business model question, we don't have any like royalty subscription model for the enterprise customers. So they just pay like a monthly fee to benefit for the enterprise features on Edge Impulse. But then if they deploy their machine learning model on 2 devices or 20,000 devices, it's going to be the same price.
Okay, that's super cool. More questions? Actually, one feature that for me is really really cool. It's that you can create a model on Edge Impulse, and you can open it, make it public, like a kind of GitHub, no? And so people can fork it, right, to reuse it.
Yeah, that's one of the new feature we had. So it's the link I shared like earlier in the chat. So you can clone this beer coffee project, and so like the data set we have created with Mark is available, the machine learning model, so you can just use it and try it as well on your own.
Exactly. And it's that simple. You just go to Hub, deploy with Balena, and it magically works. Almost. What else? More questions?
Maybe it's beer time.
Exactly. If there are no questions, means that everything has been very clear.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, I really. So actually, a couple of meetups ago, we had a session with other companies speaking about edge image classification with specific hardware, right? So I think this is a really cool alternative that it's super simple to make it use. That I mean, I have been using Google Coral and other stuff, and it's pretty complex to make it work and to reach the grade of kind of perfection, no, that you can get with Edge Impulse. That's super cool. You know, make a model with just your camera from the phone, train it that way.
Yeah,
that's impressive. That's a really good job. So Alex, he said he arrived late to the meeting, and it's very interesting. I would like to know if this will be willing to be recorded. Yeah, sure. I'm recording this, so I will publish this on YouTube as soon as possible. And Xavier said, very interesting solution. You're welcome, Alex. So yeah, I can imagine, tons of things that I can do with Edge Impulse. I don't know if you have ideas or you have use cases that people who is listening here, we have 15 people. I don't know if you have ideas or you have use cases where you want to use machine learning system on your IoT. Feel free to explain why do you need a machine learning model for your IoT.
Yeah, and feel free to join the community. We've got a really nice and growing community. If you go on forum.edgeimpulse.com, you've got a great community as well on Balena. I think it's your community is bigger, and it's I think they're both really good. I like to see like everyone helping each other to work on their different projects.
Absolutely, I think this has to be a win-win situation, right? Where a system like Balena can help to easily deploy fleet of devices with Edge Impulse. So that's the way to go. Xavier says that I'm thinking an image recognition for Home Assistant. I don't know if you have seen something similar, Aurèlien.
So like Home Assistant would be like, I don't know, for instance, for security or to use some appliance, maybe. So like I guess like you would like to do like face detection to recognize someone and to be able to activate something. It's something you can definitely do with image recognition.
Actually, I will explain something funny because my daughter, who is here right now, nothing follies. ¿Vale? She wants a clap light. So I'm thinking that maybe with Edge Impulse, she can do something like this, and the lights can turn on or turn off. No?
Yeah, definitely. You could you can do that.
So depending on the pose, right?
Oh, yeah. Turn on some music if she's
Yeah.
crying.
Exactly. So Xavier says there are solutions with Amazon and other AI image recognition solutions. Impulse looks easy. Yeah, absolutely. So from my
Yeah, and,
experience, it is.
Yeah, and the difference is that you don't need to get your device to be internet connected. Like everything is done locally, which is like different if you are using such other solutions. Okay.
Sorry, I got visitors.
No worries.
But yeah, I think it was very good, the demo. Thank you very much, Aurèlien, for your time. And if you want to speak at the next meetup, the Barcelona meetup, vale, un moment, Bruna. So feel free to write me. Sí, pots dibuixar aquí. And yeah, write me on Twitter, on the meetup. And yeah, see you at the next meetup.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Voy a hacer el notebook.